The full announcement is just straight up here now. And I am extremely excited. I read over this real quick once, but didn't get to really go into depth about it. So go through it a little bit together here. But this, I have a mixture of things to say about this, but overall, absolutely fantastic and excited. I am so happy that this is a thing. Why haven't I liked this yet? Let's get that fixed up. But yeah, the fact that first off, across all of the tournaments, $250,000 worth of prizing is absolutely insane. The 3 tournament tiers, I think as we take a look at the schedule a little bit, that'll make a little bit more sense. And then it's a mixture of IPL points, so just from competing in the circuit of tournaments, and then taking a few people from the ranked ladder. I do like that they've implemented this as well, so you can keep competing even if a tournament isn't necessarily happening on that day. I'm a little bit surprised, though, that it's only taking 4. Yeah, mainly being from the IPL points, so from the tournaments themselves. The last call tournament getting a couple as well. I love the idea of last chance qualifiers, and that is a fantastic choice there. Last chance event, I'm not exactly sure what the difference is between the two, or between these two tournaments these styles are, but I'm sure I'll find more information on that soon. 4 wildcard invites, I mean, that's always fun, but this is just a popularity contest at the end of the day. Yeah, again, just similar to what I was saying, IPL points, that's all based off of the actual tournaments themselves. RPL is based off of the ladder. And then the main one that I think we're going to be seeing majority of the time based off of the schedule is the IPL 250s. So these are still important tournaments, but capped at 32. I definitely do worry about the cap being 32. Because of what we kind of saw during the Leviathan tournament, as soon as the announcement for that tournament went up, within an hour, I think it was already like 3/4 full. So there is genuinely a thing where a time zone could actually screw you out of not competing in a tournament because you wouldn't have had the opportunity to even see the announcement. And then the other ones, the IPL 500 and the IPL 1000, those being 64. Oddly, with this one being a 64 invite only, I wonder what exactly entails somebody to get invited to that per se, because the IPL 1000, this only happens twice, I think, during the entire thing. No, 3 times. It happens 3 times throughout the season here. Going into October, it looks like, going into November, and at the tail end of November again. So, like, we have a bunch of tournaments all happening, it looks like pretty well every Saturday from mid-August until December. So anybody who's competing for IPL points, because I'm not seeing anything about this being based off of your best finish, this genuinely means that anybody who's trying to make a serious push into this needs to play weekly. If there is something along the lines of maybe in the rules that was that I either missed or that I didn't see, where it like takes your top 10 finishes or something like that, top 8 finishes or something along those lines, then that'd be something. However, that doesn't look like to be the case. So 100%, like, if you want into that main event that happens later on into December, you gotta grind. And you have to be ready to compete at all times. Or every single week. The one thing that is kind of nice, though, as an introduction to the Pro League anyway, because I first thought this was going to be Leviathan. There is nothing on this post saying that it is actually Leviathan. And in fact, people in the community have been saying that this is just standard gauntlet. So this does mean that anybody can hop on in and be at a completely even playing field with somebody brand new. And that is extremely exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I see a couple people in chat. Crypto Quick Chat. Hello, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this as well. And then cosmetics and extras. Honestly, because we're constantly working with artwork, and if there's one thing that everybody's loved about Illuvium since like the beginning, it's been the artwork. So getting the borders, emotes, and Illuvatars, like those are actually good. Gonna look good. Those are like trophies in the eyes of many. So that'd be wonderful, especially since it's actually earned, like it says right here, earned through tournament placement and participation. So, and I am so thankful that this is not behind a paywall. I was very, very worried for a bit here that IPL would have some sort of entry fee to try and offset the costs a little bit, but that is not necessarily the case this time by, which is good to see. Not locked behind the battle pass, open qualifiers for the most part. There's of course the big money ones that say that it's invite only. We'll have to kind of again figure out what that means a little bit later. But overall, anybody could come try this out. And if they perform well, they can make a little bank on that weekend. And that's extremely, extremely exciting. That being said, though, I've been seeing everybody extremely excited about it. Don't get me wrong, I am very excited as well. But I'm seeing people saying like, "Oh, we made it. This is it." Like, 100% all in, like Illuvium to the moon. And as somebody, of course, prior to me being silent, when I was in a past life, I was an esports broadcaster for traditional esports and for collegiate esports. And the number one problem that I would constantly see tournament organizers run into, and I really, really hope, especially here for Illuvium, that this does not happen, is that money equals attention. Whether it be my like local Smash or FGC trying to make a tournament and they decide to throw a heavier prize pool at it, or watching a like professional league throw a stupid huge prize money for, or put a ton of prize money in on the line for a tournament, what I would end up seeing is that it wasn't necessarily the end-all be-all in terms of attention. When it came to the like local like FGCs or the LAN events or something along those lines, I feel like they would treat it the same way that they do the prize pool, and it's just a payday to them. So one thing that does kind of worry me is I know a lot of the attention right now is trying to grab teamfight tactics players and bring them into Illuvium. I do believe that that will work a little bit until December. If we have the like content creators or people like showing that they're playing in the game, like yes, that can work. But what I really hope ends up happening is that esports isn't the main focus here. Personally, from my, again, time in the scene, what I do like seeing is when a community and when the esport itself is made from community first, grassroots, and moved up, which for the most part, Illuvium, yes, has absolutely done. This is their first big step outwards. What this is reminding me of right now, and I know they're two completely different genres, but this is reminding me of Marvel Rivals right now. The game is about as casual as it can get, but of course there are people that try super hard and try to rank up and compete. It took them a long time before they finally introduced anything esports with a big prize pool on it. They finally did with Marvel Rivals Ignite. But while Marvel Rivals Ignite is happening, they've just been focusing and pumping out the casual stuff. More heroes, like more characters, more maps, and that kind of thing. So yes, you have the carrot at the end of the stick here for the super competitives. But what can you do while this is happening to keep the casuals? To say somebody like myself, if I were to compete, or hey, like some of the people that we have in the chat here with, say, Crypto Quick Chat, I doubt I'll qualify, but have fun trying. Definitely have fun trying, but if the first couple of tournaments don't go your way, for example, what is the likelihood of you going into October, going into November, and then staying interested in December and staying interested after the tournament is even done? So what I really, really hope is while this is happening, this is Illuvium's opportunity to start throwing teasers for more casual, fun stuff. They've got the arena locked down. It looks good, and I know based off of the town halls and the stuff with the staff members themselves, that is on their mind. Like the MMO, for example, side of things, there's nothing like, other than the raiders out there, of course, but nothing more social and casual quite like the MMO. Get that tied in sometime during this tournament, because you have the attention. People came to Illuvium now because they're interested in the tournament, but what is going to keep them staying afterward? So about like middle of the season, like say, at least personally, by say October, by the second big IPL, the IPL 1000, I would absolutely love to see some sort of update focused around casual play. What that could end up being is anything from, say, an MMO raid boss, sounds like, or possibly new alluvials. This is just me spitballing. I'm not 100% sure of exactly what they've got cooking in the pot. Like, say, for example, we're getting down to the end. Like, what this is my wish list. It may not necessarily happen. If it doesn't, that's a-okay. I still love this anyway. But let's say going into main event weekend, say after the last IPL 1000, imagine right there you get the announcement that set 2 of alluvials are coming out. That would drive interest for people to stick around, because they feel like they're going to be there day one for something brand new. What I don't want to all of a sudden see is something like, hey, set 1 of the alluvials are going to go extinct by, like, say, the main weekend or something like that. Because at any point during this, if a competitive player feels like they are behind the rest of the field and they cannot get paid, they will give up. They will look for something else to do. I've been around the FGC, the fighting game community. Time and time again, we see something very, very similar, and I get it, it's 2 different genres, but the mindset's still the same. The gamer psychology is still the same, where everybody hops on a brand new fighting game title at the very, very beginning because they think they can be the next Daigo Umehara in this new fighting game, be the best of the best. But then what happens? Tournaments start coming out. They get their ass kicked in a little bit. They realize, hey, I feel like I'm behind. And what do you do casual in a fighting game? Nothing. You move on to something different. So I want Illuvium, I want the IPL, I want all of this, of course, to succeed. So I really, really hope that the esports side of things is definitely not the end-all be-all. While this is happening, give us something to chew on in regards to casual, and my goodness, will we be flying. At least, in my opinion. I'm not a marketer, or anything along those lines. I'm not a game designer. I'm just a guy who yaps a lot. But from being in collegiate esports for so long, running my own esports events, broadcasting esports events, this is something I've seen time and time again, and I hope does not wreck Illuvium. But again, from all the things that I've seen in the town hall, it looks like they're already pretty aware of it, so I'm very, very happy to hear that.